So, music and games. I've talked about music and games, breaking down some music in like Zelda, a few Zelda games, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Tears of the Kingdom. And music plays a big role in things, really sets the tone, really gets you pumped for certain things. Sonic, I've grown up with Sonic. I remember when the game first came out. I guess I'm old. Um, I remember having to save up all my money to get the Sega, and I love Sonic. I've played every single game as I sat through Sonic '06, and you're like, whoa, you really do love Sonic, don't you? I do. I love Sonic. Not as much as say, dun 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 dun. But I still love Sonic. I really do. Um, between the cartoons, the games, uh, the comics, Archie comics, that version of Sonic is just so freaking amazing. I love Sonic. And Sonic Prime was one that came out not too long ago, a couple of years ago. And you can actually, it seems like you can watch all of it on YouTube for free, which is really good. It's a really good show. But the music, especially the ending, this you don't hear it in the show itself, and I think it would have been amazing for like a final battle kind of theme. Um, but you hear it at the end, and it's so nostalgic sounding. It's hard to explain. It's not an old theme song. It's not an old song. It's new. It's for the show. But when you hear it, you automatically think back of like, getting the invincibility in the first couple of games. That sound. That every game you have that same sound, but just more specifically, the first couple of games. Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3. Sonic and Knuckles, stuff like that. It just really sets you back to when you first played Sonic. So we're gonna play this one, and then I found a really good, like, kind of a remake, kind of uh, alternate rendition of it. It's really good. But after you watch the episodes, this is what it'll say the name of the title of the episode, and then you're greeted to this amazing song. It gets you pumped. It sounds like something you'd expect from Sonic, from maybe an older game, like an old song, but more just modernized and better music. Considering though the old systems couldn't really handle music like that, but like something you'd expect to hear in like the original games, but just modern, with current technology. And you hear the song, and it would have been great to hear it in the final battle. Instead of the way it ended up, I wanted like a big final battle. Nine comes around and he comes back to Sonic's side, and Robotnik and his, the Egg Council get their hands on all the crystals, and Sonic goes into like his prime, paradox form, and just that music starts. That would have been so cool, so cool. Um, Actually, I have an entire detailed of like in my mind how I would love that scenario to go. Um, but you know, no one wants to hear that. But then this is the Sonic Prime end credits theme alternate version. This is really good. Um, it's just a simple piece. It's such a simple piece of music, but like I said, it takes you back to like the original games. And it really gives you that vibe of like old school Sonic. It's crazy. But here is the alternate version. So simple. It's such a simple piece of music. And somehow, despite the fact that it's a new song for the show, it can bring up so many emotions, and it takes you back to those old games. Like, it makes me think of when I was sitting there as a kid playing Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, um, Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3D Blast. Uh, it's just crazy how it's a new piece of music, but it has such energy and such a Sonic vibe to it, which obviously it's supposed to. It's for Sonic. But even though it's a new piece, you hear it and you just think of like a specific moment when you were playing Sonic. Despite you knowing that this song didn't exist when you were playing Sonic, you just remember a certain moment and you're like, yeah, yeah, that's Sonic. Um, but it's crazy that music can do that. Again, it's a new piece of music. It's only a couple years old, and yet you hear it and you're thinking of a specific Sonic game, of a specific moment in that game, at a specific time in your life when you were experiencing it. You know, it's crazy what music does. No words, no nothing. It's just music, and it can set you back 20, 30 years. You know, it makes you think that far back, and you're like, yeah, I remember. I know it's not old, I know it's not old music, but man, it sets me back. It sets me back to when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, playing the game for the first time. And the games back then, you know, you had Hill Cap Zone, you know, Ice Cap Zone, the Chemical Plant. It's great music with that. Um, you know, a lot of these songs when I play the Ocarina of Time randomizer, I have set like Flying Battery. I don't like that level. I love the music. I love the music. Ice Cap Zone, I love the music for there. Chemical Plant, love it. Um, I think I've got Pumpkin Hill going on somewhere from Sonic Battle, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And if they had City Escape and Live and Learn in there, I'd be playing those two. Um, the Live and not Live and Learn, but City Escape. Like you start Sonic Adventure Battle 2, and you just drop in, and you have such a amazing song, in the form of that song, and it really gets you hyped for the rest of the game. You know, and whenever I play whatever and I'm zooming around, that's what I think of. Rolling around at the speed of sound. That's what I think of. You know, and I had such a good time playing. Obviously, I was a teenager, well into my teens when that game came out. But it was such a good experience. You get dropped in and you hear that bass, and it starts, and it's just pure energy through the whole time. You're, you know, boarding through the freaking your city down the streets, and it's so good. It's so good. You know, Live and Learn with the final battle. You know, super. I was about to say Super Saiyan Sonic, Super Sonic and Super Shadow. You know, having Live and Learn playing in the background. It's just it hypes you up, and that's what I love about music. That even a song like this that's still brand new, it's takes you back 20, 30 years. Um, and that's one reason why I love talking about like Zelda music, because Zelda music, you know, every piece when it comes to music, it's specifically tailored to each level or setting or whatever, and it's supposed to elicit emotions, feelings out of you. The music sets the tone. So if you're like I brought up, you know, in you know, when I do the Zelda ones, if you're like in Kokiri Forest, the music is very light and whimsical, you know, because you're in a forest and it's filled with fairies and, you know, the Kokiri. And so it's supposed to be light and it's your starting area. So it's going to be feeling very safe and secure and whimsical and fairy tale esque. But then when each place you go, that music fits, you know, you go to Hyrule Field, and suddenly the music goes from sounding more confined to being a grander scale, because now it's filling this entire field with this orchestrated music. It literally sets the tone for the adventure. But I love music and what it can do. And then you know, pieces of music can take you back 20, 30 years, and you just remember what you were doing at that time, or, you know, a specific moment in whatever. And it's crazy. Crazy what music does. But let me know your favorite piece of music. It doesn't have to be Sonic, but if it is Sonic, what's your favorite piece of Sonic music? And it doesn't have to be from a game. It could be something from a show, one of the shows, anything. Doesn't matter. Um, I probably might do one on Chrono Cross, because Chrono Cross or Kingdom Hearts, because those games, oh my god, the music. Legendary. Those music songs are legendary. But right now, it was just Sonic. Anyway. But yeah, let me know. That's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.